Hey, everybody, happy Saturday. This guy is making me work on a weekend.
Always off to a good start. Absolutely.
Always. Welcome to the weekend.
Yeah, exactly right. I just want to make sure we're good on the. I think we're good on the green Juju. I think we're good on both.
You click connect.
I did. I think so. Yeah.
Welcome to the world of technical stuff.
Yeah, it says live. So
Okay, there we go.
hopefully that's the case. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. We are live actually at Judy's warehouse in what I consider to be very amazing, awesome, fancy setup. So thank you for that.
He's getting exposed to our studio.
Yes, exactly right. And we are here to talk about something I think that's very exciting. And I think I would rather talk about it with no one else because I know just how important it is for veterinarians to be connected to food companies and educated. So let me do a little interviewing first. I'm going to put you on the spot just generally. Okay. So when it comes to veterinarians in the nutrition training they get in school, say, maybe talk a little bit about why it's so incumbent on them to learn after school.
You know this is a sore subject for me, right? So it's funny because Dr. Lori Koger sent me an email yesterday, and it had screenshots of a veterinary forum, veterinarians talking, and somebody asked the question, what do you recommend food-wise for your patients, or do you even talk about food with your clients? And she sent me probably 30 answers from different veterinarians. Every single one. I recommend Hill, Purina, and Royal Canin because that's what I learned in school. And those are the companies we trust because they have board certified veterinary nutritionists, and which questionable. But that's what they're taught, and it's so ingrained in them that the only thing they're allowed to recommend is those big companies, and everything else is considered not adequate. And there was actually a screenshot that somebody sent me where a veterinarian said that she thinks that this big debate over using human grade ingredients versus feed grade, we shouldn't have those two different terms. We should only have pet grade food. What the heck is that?
That is a very good question.
It's just, so that is what is taught in school. Like and I am a dinosaur. I went to school a very long time ago, and we only had one kind of alphabet soup diet back then. And so in medicine class, if an animal was diagnosed with kidney disease, they automatically went on KD, and they only had a few diets at that point. But since then they've come out with DD, which is their dermatologic diet, HD, which is their hepatic or liver diet, and all of those big three companies have veterinary diets, and that's what you're taught. Like veterinary students are not, at least in this country, for the most part, are not taught. Here's how you would formulate a diet using real food. And Hugh and I actually went to Kansas State University to their formulations course. So it's a week of very, very intensive training, learning how to formulate commercial diets. And everything that is in their computer program is not real food. It's chicken meal or meat and bone meal or a synthetic vitamin mineral additive. You could pick which company's additives you wanted to use. But we really didn't have the opportunity to say, hey, I want to formulate a diet without synthetics. I want to formulate a diet that doesn't use dehydrated, highly processed meals. That wasn't even an option. So I'm certified to formulate commercial diets through this program, except I don't use that computer program because I wanna use a computer program that offers me the opportunity to use whole foods,
Yeah, and so
and we're not taught that.
essentially, it's interesting because I've worked with holistic vets for my entire career, and I think what a lot of people don't realize is it's really upon the veterinarian after they graduate from school to actually learn about nutrition and learn about how to use foods in a more medicinal way and how to use foods, even just everyday diet, and we are the exact opposite of what you're mentioning. Everything that we make is food based, and I always, when I classify our products, I always like to say better than, right? Because what I say is, if it's in a normal grocery store, it's not good enough to be, in Green Juju. And so that we essentially want to be so the Green Juju Veterinary Program, which is what we're here to announce, is so we can be a resource to veterinarians, not just you know, in terms of general feeding, which is we also want to be a resource just in regard to general nutrition because, you know, I don't think there's any more interesting times I've had in this industry than if it's, say, a group of 5 or 6 of us who are at dinner somewhere and we're involved. We're all involved in a different way in nutrition or making food. And we're all bouncing ideas off each other, just kind of like friendly debating topics. I think those are the most interesting times, and so, we wanna provide that resource, not only in general nutrition, but also in green juju specifically, because there's something to say about all the trends that we've noticed over the years, and, "Hey, this seemingly is great for allergies, we'd like to get more information on this," or maybe we'd like to do a study, or maybe we'd like to do, X, Y, and Z. Um, so first and foremost, for you veterinarians out there that are watching, and wanna sign up, I should have had probably like a, "Hey, go to this thing," and then, uh,
Yeah,
re
si
reach out
sign up link to be announced.
reach out to us at info@greenjuju.com, and I will get you signed up for the program, and um, we're gonna talk a little bit about what to expect in the program, and for you watching at home that are not veterinarians, we're also gonna talk about how this is going to help you guys as well. But maybe, Judy, if I could ask you another interview question, maybe about just, I know that you have worked a lot with Green Juju in the last, you know, I don't know, last couple of years, especially, but maybe just some of the things you've seen in regard to our products or anything in that realm.
Well, the great thing about them is that they're very limited ingredient. So, particularly for, and it's funny because we didn't used to carry we carried very minimal pet food. I had one brand that had a duck diet and a rabbit diet, and so we would use those for people who had animals with allergies sort of as their elimination diet. And at Global, I think it was 2 years ago, I noticed that they had changed a lot about the company, and they were now adding synthetic ingredients, and all kinds of things were being done differently, and I said, "Whoa, I don't wanna use this anymore. This now doesn't hit the qualification level that I want the products to be." And so we spent a lot of time running around Global that year, reading pet food packages and looking at because I wanted to find those limited ingredient diets, and so that kind of opened up a new world for us as far as, a whole different product division
Hmm.
in naturally healthy pets. And you guys have been great because you keep coming. I mean, we started with the Just Greens, which is just a great addition for a lot of reasons. Um, Obviously, we can only carry the freeze dried because we're not going to store and ship frozen products. And then you had all the single ingredient or the functional treats
Hmm.
that you came out with. And I was like, well, these are amazing because I can talk about them from a TCVM standpoint. And then you came out with these diets that are wonderful limited ingredient diets. So they're just, if somebody needs a warming diet, hey, we got those over here. We need a cooling diet, we've got these over here. And if we have animals that have sensitivities, it's really easy to pick something that doesn't have a whole bunch of additives in it. So
Yeah.
I love them for that reason, but I also love them just because of the sourcing and they're just clean products.
Yeah, that was, the whole goal was how do we make the most efficient limited diet, and then some of it is really just trying to think outside the box.
Yeah.
There's so much in the industry that's like everything else sort of. And so I know that Kelly and I both take a lot of pride in like how do we push the narrative versus conform to it. And what I mean by that is my sort of philosophy moving forward is we haven't found the best diet for a dog and cat because it's continually changing and the science is always ever expanding. And it's the same thing with humans as well. And so we want to do things that sort of push that narrative. And hopefully the people out there are excited about the frozen version of those diets as well that will be out in March. So going back to the veterinary program, so the first thing that so far, so we actually started reaching out to vets, and again, vets, if you're out there and you haven't heard from us, you at the bottom of the screen, I think right now you can see info@greenjuju.com. Please reach out to us. Um, we have about 25 vets signed up, and some of the maybe familiar names you guys might be familiar with out there is Dr. Katie Kangas, Dr. Odette Suter, Josie Bug down in Florida. But we have 25 really great vets so far. And so the first thing is you guys are going to have at home on our website, you guys are going to have a searchable directory of holistic veterinarians that have joined the program. So what we're going to offer to these veterinarians is not just uh, hey, this veterinarian, the first step is this veterinarian is great. They recommend raw food. They're looking into like alternative modalities, but we also want them to be very educated on green juju. We want them to be able to use those products to the best of their ability, in whatever medicinal sense they're looking at. Um, so when you go to when you go to that directory, you're going to know that veterinarian is specifically connected with us and that I'm providing any sort of training they might want on the products. Also, for you veterinarians out there, um, that includes the staff training part. It also
Also
includes
includes
the
the
community
community
event
event
part.
part.
I love doing community events, and so I'd love to come out to your practice and um,
Joey, did you just disconnect us?
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Our
We
screen changed.
got thrown off because I can't see. So I would love to connect with you if you're a veterinarian watching this and do a community event. I travel a lot for work, and so I'm in most areas in the country, which is really good. The other thing I think that's going to be really great is for veterinarians in general is, and I got this idea. I can't claim credit for this because I got this idea from Barbara Royal in Chicago. Um, I went in and I was actually shadowing her for a day, and just kind of, which was very interesting because what I've noticed is everyone has different nutritional viewpoints to the point where we all have very big things in common. But it was just so fun for me to watch her because I was like, that's not exactly what I would recommend, but it's amazing. And so it's fun to see like the small differences in that during that. But I noticed when I was there that in every one of their exam rooms they had a treat jar that was filled with green juju treats and it would say what that treat was on there. And I thought, that's a great idea because I know that veterinarians want to give like a really great option, but also, a lot of times there's a fine line between what they can afford to put in those jars, all of that. So for you veterinarians watching out there, we're going to actually provide you with some branded treat jars and send you guys treats to fill those every month. So your patients can get the best of the best when it comes to treats. And
Man, that is so much better than the treats that are in most veterinary offices. And I just look at them and say, yeah, not no, no. And it's really funny when we did training with both of our youngsters. It was in our veterinarian's office. One of the technicians is also a trainer, and so he had the little usual veterinary treats that he was using in training class. And I was like, we're not going to use those on my dogs. So I brought my own. But the other thing is my dogs had zero interest in them. They were just like, yeah, we're not working for that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that does go to, for instance, our treats like beef red and bison grade, those are so palatable, and it does make the veterinary just experience so much better if the dog
If
or
they're getting
cat is,
something good.
if they're actually enjoying it, but then obviously on the health benefits as
Well, and the
well.
cats will generally eat them. My
Yeah.
cats love the green Juju treats.
And that's actually a hard battle to win.
It
So,
is. Oh my gosh. So if I get up in the middle of the night with a dog, one of the cats comes running and jumps on the counter below the treat cabinet, knowing that I will give her a handful of salmon blue or pork pink or whatever's in the cabinet.
that is exactly right. So that's basically, just to recap for you guys out there, in case you came onto the stream. So remember, if you are watching this and you're a Green Juju customer, you are about to have an option on our website that lists all of the holistic vets that are in our veterinary program. So you know that they're connected to us, that they have um, all the knowledge they need to properly use Green Juju products. And also for you vets out there that aren't necessarily practicing, but you have an online presence, you do online consultations, please join the program. We'd be happy to put your website up on that same directory site as well. And for you veterinarians out there watching this that want to join the program, you can, number one, we want to educate you. Number two, we want to provide you some treats so you can have those in your exam rooms. And there will actually also be more in this program as well as it evolves, potentially an online forum. So all of you vets can connect with each other to see what's working the best when it comes to Green Juju products, as well as doing some community events and any other way that we can support our goal together, which is obviously to make dogs and cats healthier. And so anytime we can connect with all of these vets, we're going to be happy to do that. So
And let's convert some vets.
exactly.
All the naysayers.
That is a very good point. I think the more that we can get this education out there, the more that those friendships in the veterinary community are going to cross over.
Yep.
And the more that we can sort of even just change a little bit. I know that's a very hard paradigm to change in general, but as much as we can change that, the better, because in the end, it's not about, hey, do this because it's this. It's do this because it helps the animals the most.
Exactly.
And that's why Green Juju does what Green Juju does. And I know that's why holistic veterinarians do what they do. So,
and for anybody who's not aware, our international event that's going to be in Orlando, October 12th and 13th, with our guest speakers from around the world. We do have a special veterinary program that is taking place that weekend. So if you are a veterinarian, veterinary student, veterinary technician student, anybody in the veterinary profession world, there's a special discount for you guys. And we have a special room reserved for the veterinary community where you can chit chat about what you're seeing in practice, what you're doing holistically, what you want to learn more about. And there is a special hour set aside with our 7 international speakers for that veterinary community to exchange ideas and have one-on-one with them. So I would highly recommend that if you know anybody in the veterinary field that wants to learn more holistic stuff. We also have a contest going on for students, and it can be a technician student, a veterinary student, a pre-vet student. There's a form that they can fill out and answer some questions about holistic veterinary medicine. And one of them will win an all expense paid trip, all their meals, their airfare, and their hotel, and their admission to the event for the weekend.
Wow. Well, and I will tell you, if you haven't got your tickets to that event, I will give you one more carrot to dangle, which I think is the biggest carrot to dangle. The ever elusive Kelly Marion, who doesn't go to that many events, will be at this event.
Owner of Green Juju.
Owner of Green Juju. Well, I figure everyone knows who she is just when I say her name. So
may or may not.
The owner of Green Juju, and I will
because she is kind of elusive.
Yes, and I will be. She's much more important than me, but I will be there as well. And we will have a booth at that event and be talking, to those veterinarians as well. So I didn't even know that. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's
Um,
promising to be a good weekend. And VIP tickets are almost sold out. So if you're interested in a VIP ticket, which has a special cocktail party with the speakers, and you get better food, you get your own room, you get better swag bags, all kinds of things. And you get front row seating for the VIPs. It's almost sold out. So if you have any interest in a VIP ticket, I would jump on that really quick.
so there you go. So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you, Dr. Judy, and hanging out and helping us to announce this program. We are always looking to get closer to the veterinary community and help you guys out as much as possible. So thank you for watching, and I guess we will see you soon.